Hey everyone, and welcome back to this week's 90-second cyber story. We're going to continue with part 3. Before we get going, make sure you go back, watch the last episode, because we're just going to build upon what we've talked about already. Secondly, just to touch back really quickly, what are we doing this for? We're doing this because all the techno jargon and all the complexities around cybersecurity, we're taking the time. We're stripping everything down to the basics, and we're going to talk about practical ways to implement cybersecurity solutions. Secondly, pardon me, why 90 seconds? 90 seconds is because we're all busy, and I want to inject as much useful and down-to-earth information as we can so that we can all get on with our day. Anyways, let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're at work, you're working away because you're awesome, you're getting things done, and suddenly you get an email. It looks kind of like this, or maybe like this one, or even like this one. You're not really expecting it, but it seems urgent. When you click on the link, it looks familiar. It looks like OneDrive or a Microsoft login account or even an Adobe site. Sometimes if if you access Office 365. Okay, so this is familiar. You put in your credentials, it shows you the file. You open up the file and it's some sort of generic file or something that doesn't really apply. So you don't worry about it, you close the browser and you get on with your day. No harm, no foul, right? Unfortunately, big harm, big foul. So to go back to our continuing our story, this is exactly how Everyday Co was compromised. Everyday Co, someone at Everyday Co logged in to a site just like this, thinking it was Microsoft or another familiar or trustworthy site, and managed to share their credentials. We also found that the staff at Everyday Co used simple passwords, and one of the users actually had full admin rights to the site. So that was how the impersonator got in. What they did then is they set up what's called a forwarder, and they were able to get access to every single email that went through Everyday Co. So that's the continuation of this story. So now we're going to talk about how that could have been prevented, and at least one of the ways. We're going to talk about another way next week. So yeah, so what do you do? So how do you get around, and how do you prevent you or your staff from falling for those types of emails? And to be truthful, they're never going to end. There's always going to be some sort of what they call social engineering attack to make you rush, to make you disregard everyday process, to make you trust the email or trust a communication. So what we're highly recommending, is something called two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication, commonly referred to as 2FA. You might see this already on some apps or websites that you're using right now. And the way that it works is quite simple. You log into a website, your application as you normally would, and you receive a code, usually through SMS, or which is text message. Or the other way you can actually provide a code is through an application like Google Authenticator or Microsoft Authenticator. And this really adds that extra level of security. That way, if someone does happen to get your password and user ID, when they try to log in with your account information, if they don't have that code, then they can't get into it. In fact, it actually will also give you a heads up. If you do get a text message asking or providing a code, you know that your password may be compromised and it's time to change it. So that's my practical advice for today. Implement 2FA, two-factor authentication. If your email system does not support two-factor authentication, chances are it's not very secure. Talk to your IT provider. Talk to your managed service provider. Whoever is doing your IT, if you have an IT department, talk to them. Make sure these simple measures are put in place in order to protect you and your organization. If you guys have questions, leave me a comment, get a hold of us. We're more than happy to help you out. Anyways, that's it for this week, and hope you have a great one, and we'll talk to you next week on part 3. Take care.